Here's a question you might be sitting with. You're a business founder and you want to start using AI in your business for your employees, but also in your own professional and personal capacity. But you're just lost as to where you should get started. You're completely overwhelmed. There's so many people talking about AI. You're reading so much on social media and in the news. You're just lost. Well, if that's you, if that's a question that you have, then hopefully this video is going to help you. So basically, you're going to get a 2 keyword framework for how do you understand where you can get started in your business with using AI. And hopefully this video and this framework is going to get you started down that path of starting to adopt AI in your business and also in your professional and personal capacity. So just to start off with, as an introduction, my name is Daniel. This is the first video in this channel that I've launched. And basically the purpose of the channel and the purpose of the videos is to try and boil down to the simplest, most straightforward frameworks, what I'm learning as I travel down this AI rabbit hole, and basically how I try and teach businesses to adopt AI from, kind of the most simplest workflow all the way through to complex workflows and finally, hopefully across the entire business and organization in order to, kind of really push their business forward into this new century that we are going to be living in, well, not century, but basically this new era that we're going to be living in, which is the AI-powered era. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the framework that I've created to try and explain to you guys today the 2 keywords that you can use to get started. Super simple, as you can see. So let me zoom in here. Okay, so let's start with the most basic thing. Every single person that understands their business, that understands what they do on a daily basis, should be able to answer the question, what is the job? And let's just focus on one job, okay? Let's narrow it down. What is the one job where I feel I lose so much time and it's really not adding a lot of value to the business, okay? Everybody should be able to, well, everybody that's running a business should be able to answer this question. And I really want you to focus and narrow down to one specific area. Because I think a lot of people get lost with thinking about their entire business and all the different places where AI can help, but really just start with a very narrow scope, okay? So that's the question. Now, if we zoom down, the follow-up question that you should be asking if you have this job in mind is, well, okay, let me rewind. Let's say you get a young employee into a business. They're super smart, they're bright, they can take action, but they've never done a job. They're straight out of university. Is the job that you have in mind one that you would be able to give to this employee and give them a step-by-step manual that's really detailed and then kind of, have trust and confidence that they'll be able to do this job right every single time after you've showed them one time how to do it? If the answer is yes, so let me just scroll down here. If the answer is yes, then that means that the work that you're thinking of that you potentially would want AI to kind of help you with or take over is recipe work. So that's the key word, recipe. And that means that it's work that is really, really likely to be able to be done via automation, okay? But let me zoom and go back. If the answer to this question is no, so you really need to have judgment in order to do this job. It's not done the same way every single time. You can't have a step-by-step process to do it. Then the key word is judgment. This is judgment work, okay? So, the 2 keywords is recipe, and judgment. Well, let me just take away all these blue marks. So recipe, keyword number 1, judgment, keyword number 2. Okay, those are the 2 keywords you should keep in mind when you're thinking, how do I get started with using AI in my work? Okay, so recipe and judgment. So let's say, for instance, and let's start with recipe. Okay, recipe, let me think of something, for instance. Okay, so my sister-in-law, she founded a brownie and fudge business. And something that they lose a lot of time on is customers WhatsApping them, DMing them, sending them emails, asking them the same questions over and over, FAQ questions. How long does your delivery time take? Are your products halal? All these types of questions. And this is the type of work that, answering these questions is kind of, a step-by-step thing. You get the question, you look at the resources that you have in the business, you find the right answer, you send the answer back to the client. It's pretty stepwise fashion. Any young bright employee should be able to do that job day in, day out if they have the right step-by-step structure. Okay, so this is, for instance, work that you would be able to automate. And how do you automate that? Well, I'm sure that many of you that are on social media or kind of spend a little bit of time reading kind of what the new things are that people are using, you will most probably have heard of one of, or if not all three of these businesses. So these are businesses, technology platforms, software businesses that help people automate specific workflows in their business. Okay. So Zapier, this is the one that's the easiest and the broadest to use. Some of you might have already started using it or have heard of it. This is the one I would suggest you get started with if you're completely new to this, because they just make it super easy in their templates. If not, if you want to kind of try and be a little bit more technologically savvy, then you can use Make. Still super easy to use for most business cases, and it kind of gives you the best kind of value and visual setup. If you're more technically minded, maybe you're coming from an engineering background, then you can use N8N. This is one that I use for my business, and it gives you a lot of power and privacy, but it is more for the technologically savvy. Okay. Now, I'm not going to spend this video explaining to you how to make an automation. YouTube is an incredibly powerful platform to educate yourself. And I think what you can do is you can go to YouTube, you can look up Nate Herc. He's someone that has taught himself a lot about how to automate important workflows. Go into his channel, give him a like, give him a subscribe, and go and look at the videos that he has to show you how to basically automate something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Zapier. Okay, this is just on their website, just to kind of show you the concept of what is available and that you really, as a business founder, can go in there, use the templates that they have just to get started. Okay, so here's their website. And basically, I'm going to go here to, I'm looking for the templates because I want to kind of show you the basically show you. Okay, I have it open in another page. Okay, so here is their template page. Okay, they've got a huge amount of templates that you can just take as a starting base, and from there start to build the automation that you want. So if I go back to the example of my sister-in-law's business, customer support, it's basically an FAQ chatbot. Okay. You don't need to have a business come in and build something from scratch and charge you a lot of money. You can really just go in here and just start from scratch. So if I scroll down here, then there should be one that is there we go. Simple FAQ AI chatbot template. Okay, so I click on that template. You can sign up for free and you can use this template. And what does it help? Okay, overview, upgrade your customer support with a simple FAQ chatbot template. So this literally will allow you to automate that very time-consuming job of customers sending you questions to something that can be answered very quickly from a simple FAQ piece of the kind of knowledge that, whether it's a Google Doc or some other template that you have in your business. So simple example of how you can use Zapier, and go back to my framework, or Make or N8N to automate something in your business that is a recipe work. Again, two keywords, recipe, judgment. Okay. So if I zoom back out and we now say that, well, wait, hold on a minute. The work that I have in mind isn't something that's a recipe. I won't be able to give it to an employee who's smarter, who then will follow a step-by-step fashion. It's something that requires judgment. It's something that requires context and things that I have in my head, things that are stored throughout my business. Well, if that's the case, the answer is no, then that's judgment work, as I said previously. And here, the solution that you need to look at is not automation, but an AI assistant. Now, for the last few years, we have all kind of gotten to grips with what AI is in the most simplest terms, what an AI chatbot is. It all obviously started with the OG, OpenAI and ChatGPT, and then it's really expanded to a huge amount of businesses that have created these AI products or AI agents that we can talk with, work with, etc. Now, I don't get paid to send you in a specific direction. I'm just telling you what I use. And I have really, joined a lot of people on the Claude bandwagon. So Claude is the product or the AI LLM agent from a company called Anthropic. And I specifically think if you have a piece of work that is judgment related, and you want to work with a smart agent that has context about you and your business and how you do things, then Claude Cowork is a brilliant place for you to start. Claude Cowork is essentially the agent that can operate on your business laptop or your PC, go through your files, take in all the context that it needs about you and your business, and help you with this judgment that you need to get done. Now, again, I'm not going to go through a tutorial or step-by-step process about how to do this. Huge amount of resources available on YouTube. I would suggest that you go to Anthropic's website. So I've opened it up here. Here's Anthropic. This is the business. You can literally go at the top, learn Anthropic Academy, and they've got brilliant resources here. I would suggest, okay, you go down to Claude for Work. Okay, click there, and then you can really just get started here with new to Claude. Start here. Okay, get started with Claude AI. Get inspired. Claude 101 courses. And then really there's a huge amount of resources that you can slowly but surely start to work through in order to understand how do I work with Claude in order to help me with the judgment work that I have. But to give you a basic example, I've set up my Claude Cowork in such a way that it has all of the context it needs about me as an individual, my business, what my strategy is, who my customers are, and I can go in and in a relatively quick fashion, basically say to Claude Cowork, look, this is a situation. I'm meeting a new potential client. Their background is this. I want to explain to them how I'm going to do this. Give me a elevator pitch, or prep this for me, or take that file and change it for me. And it's an incredibly powerful tool once it understands and has context about you, and then it's able to help you a lot with judgment work. So I am definitely going to be making more videos in depth about how I use Claude Cowork and Claude Code in order to help me build my business. But I think this framework and those two keywords, recipe and judgment, will kind of really help you in the basic fashion possible to understand, okay, I want to start using AI in my business. How do I start using that? So that's the end of the video. All I have to ask from you is please, in the comments, just tell me what are the big burning questions that you have. If you're a business founder, if you run a business, if you're in a business and you want to start using AI, please just tell me what the key things are that you want to learn more about. And then I'll use that as the basis for the next videos that I do. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks.